Hey y'all, it's me, Stop, Drop, and Roll On. And it's a work from home day. Today anyway. For me it is. It sure is. Y'all, I know I sound like I got about a quarter of a pound of gravel in my throat. My voice is just as gravelly as it wanna be, and I'm gonna tell y'all why, okay? When I do that, y'all already know. These little old people are really funny to me, and they just as cute as they can be, but they do some stuff. We got two little octogenarians that we are working with right now. Both of these is on Pierre's side. All of my little critters is, they done went on to the other side. So that whole part is, yeah. Granny was the last one. The one before Granny was Aunt Savannah. Granny, I told y'all my grandma died. Y'all know. And for those of you that don't know, in October. And before she died, her aunt was still alive. That was Aunt Savannah. And Aunt Savannah kind of reminded you of somebody. I can't explain who she reminded. I know who she let me just put it like this. Aunt Savannah reminded me of Hattie McDaniels. She talked like Hattie McDaniels. She talked really fast. And she always called everybody sugar. Come on in here, sugar, and sit down. And come on, like that. And, this is endearment. Anything that I'm getting ready to say about older people is just because when I say they funny to me, I don't mean funny like everything you do is hilarious, because obviously with the rest of what I'm going to tell y'all, it's not all hilarity. But I'm just saying that when you look back on it, the things that they do and the way that they do them, you have to laugh and get some enjoyment out of them, because it's just they raw personalities and you just got to love it. So that was Aunt Savannah's way. And so when Aunt Savannah I think Aunt Savannah was 98 when she died, because we have longevity, and I'm trying to tap into that, okay then? So that's part of the story behind why I'm, deflating, so to speak. And my mother and me went out to visit Aunt Savannah, because she at that point was in a care facility. And she wasn't doing too good, but she was still kind of with it. And she was telling my grandmother she had Alzheimer's at that point, but she wasn't totally, fully into it. And they was up there talking, and Mama said, I wasn't there at that point. She said, you should have just heard this conversation. And I was like, what, Mama? What were they doing? She said, they just sitting up there talking back and forth. And Aunt Savannah started talking about lights and stuff. And Mama come talking about, meaning Nanny, my grandma, told her, well, Savannah, if you see the lights, go to the lights. Go to the lights. And I'm like, how you going to tell somebody to go to the light? And Granny knew what she was saying at that point, but she was telling her to go to the light. And Aunt Savannah ain't went to no lights. She lived, I think, maybe after that, probably like two and a half more months. But I don't even know why they was even having that type of conversation. That's the kind of stuff they would do. And it was some more of them, too. I could tell y'all stories every day, all day long, and still have some left back in the vault, because it's never a dull memento. So yesterday, I get to add another story to my vault. I done told y'all before about Pierre's aunt, and I have just taken to calling her Miss Chittlin Salad. I tried to even clean that up and turn it from Chittlin over to chicken, but it's Chittlin Salad. And so we got to call her the Clarion to come out there to see about her. Because her, as I told y'all, my grandfather, his favorite, when something wasn't working right, it was one or two things, on the blink or on the fritz. So her VH player was on the fritz. And so VHS player, excuse me, let me get that right. For those of you that are too young to understand what a VHS player is, let me enlighten you. It's the precursor, the ancestor to the DVD. It is a plastic box, tapes, housed in a plastic box that is about 7.5, 8 inches long and about 1 to 1.5 inches thick on a spool. On the inside is the tape that you playing. And that's what movies used to come on. And people used to, before all this copyright stuff would go on, and the copyright stuff was probably going on, but they kind of like wasn't as honed in on it as they are now. People would tape videos and stuff off the TV and be taping all kind of ratchet crap, and all that. Anyway, Miss Chittlin Salad's VCR player is on the fritz. Actually, is dead. And Pierre, and this must run in the genes, still had a VHS player in here. I keep trying to tell y'all about my struggle. And like the rest of these young folks be saying, it's real in here. VHS player not being used. Shouldn't even be being used. Probably should have been melted down several years ago and still in existence up in here. And I'm just like, this can go the way of the dodo. This needs to go away. Well, the opportunity struck and I seized the moment. I said, let's take this out here and take it to Miss Chittlin Salad and see if she can use it, because it's not using. I thought let me put it like this. I thought that he was going to do a preview on it and run it, but we got up. She lives in the next city over. And, y'all, we got out there. And, we went in and everything. And she was delighted because, this is a person that looks at television. She's an avid TV watcher. She looks at television. And, so anyway, we went in there with the VHS player. And, Pierre was the hero of the day, yet again. I'm just a little trusty sidekick. It's just kind of like the Lone Ranger. And I happen to be Tonto. I don't even have a high billing. My billing is so low, right, especially yesterday. So, anyhow, we went and did all that, went over there. And then she started coming up with all these other things that she needed to have, needed to do. Get some copies made of some pictures so that she can mail it to Pierre's mother. And I'm telling him, look, all these two sisters is doing is trading papers back and forth. One send the paper, the other one send the paper back. One send the paper this way, then the other one send the paper back. 2 different states just exchange. Them 2 alone is keeping the postal service afloat. I know it. Because I ain't going to get into that, but let me just put it like this. If one sees something interesting in the newspaper in her state, she calls the paper people and have them mail a paper to this state. And we ain't neighboring states. A newspaper. And I'm not making this up. Now I'm going to stop that. Back to this VHS situation. So Pierre worked and something happened, and then the receiver was already acting up, and they just decided, you know what, no more tomfoolery here. I'm stopping. I'm not doing no more. So the receiver went out. But when the receiver went out, I felt like I needed to put my finger up and go toward the door and walk really fast because I didn't feel safe. And that, if you don't know what that means, when we were growing up, going to church, when you wanted to get up and walk out of the church in the middle of something, like if the minister was teaching or something like that, and it was imperative that you leave, you put your finger up and put your head down and walk on out. That means excuse me. And that's what I felt like I needed to do yesterday. And I should have did it right then, but I didn't. Because I was trying to support Pierre. Because he doesn't have a lot of experience with older people. This is his first go around with this. And it's an interesting time in the kingdom. So anyway, we get out there and got all that done. Receiver goes on the fritz and we go in the room. Now, Miss Chittlin Salad had a surgery about a year and a half ago that I really kind of begged her not to have because I can't tell people what to do. I can just tell them what I know. But she had surgery. And the outcome of it, to me, has not been what it should have been. It really definitely has not been what they promised her it would be. But she was determined. And at that point, she punched the button on me and made me go through the floor. In other words, get out of here. I'm not trying to hear you. I'm doing this. And I was like, your scissors cut my paper. Let me go on and sit down. And we're going to see what color the wall going to be. So they brought a potty chair before the surgery. And I said, you don't need this potty chair. I said, I don't sense that you will need it. This isn't normal. I said, but if you want to have it, then you can. I said, but technically, as far as I'm concerned, they're just charging the system for something that's going to prevent you from doing what you need to do, which is ambulate. You got to ambulate after this type of surgery. So making your steps shorter, like I only got to go 2 steps instead of getting up and walking all the way to your bathroom, which is not really far at all from any vantage point in her place. It didn't make sense to me. And I said, to me, this is going to cause you, some undue whatever. But she kept the potty chair, wouldn't turn it back in. And so a couple times we went over there and she was like, the potty chair is sitting in the living room with the tag still on it. Excuse me, that was several months after the surgery. And she didn't ever say anything, and I didn't bring it back up again because I would have been that out of place. She is my elder, and I don't have no business chiding her, I just know what I know. So I let it, just looked at it, and I didn't say too much, but at the same point in time, it was kind of like, this is unfortunate. And then I was wondering, one day I said, well, maybe somebody could use this thing instead of just sitting here. But anyway, it still was there. So yesterday when we went there and Pierre was working on both VHS players, because she got 2 of them. We didn't know that. We went in another room. She called me in there because I was trying to stay out of the way. And I went in there and she's sitting in this little recliner. And Pierre, I sat on the floor. And it was a good little flexibility workout for me off and on yesterday because I was on the floor most of the day, up and down. And Pierre, I looked and I was like, what is this, Pierre? This looks vaguely familiar. Y'all, Miss Chittlin Salad had pimped out that potty chair. I'm not being funny. I'm just telling y'all that yesterday my day was full. That little thing had taken the bottom off of it. She never used it, but taking the bottom off of it and put something, you got to give a 5-star rating for ingenuity and put something hard over the top of the top and then wrapped all this cushion around it and then did a little upholstery job. I knew what it was by the legs on it and then the arm things. I mean, DME when you know DME. And I'm like, DME, durable medical equipment. I'm not saying a bad word. So I'm just like, is that what I think? And then I looked at it and I was like, that's exactly what that is. So she started telling us that she needed us to get some copies of some pictures to send to Pierre's mother. And telling us where to get them at. But she didn't want to go. And I knew she didn't want to go because her little leg was hurting her. And she stayed behind and we went. And I asked Pierre, I said, was your chair comfortable? And he said, well, And that's all he said. When he do that, it's like, I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm just saying. I said, well, your aunt got her a little side hustle and she don't know it. And he come to me out, what? I said, that potty chair that I had been talking to her about for forever, like to find somebody that could use it or something. And he said, yeah. I said, well, she found somebody that could use it and it's you. I said, she pimped out that potty chair and you sat in it yesterday. We almost had to pull that car over. Pierre laughed so hard, and I did too. Y'all, I'm going to hush my mouth and get started with my day. But I just wanted to give y'all a laugh for the morning, okay? All right, toodles.